What's up, family? Happy Sunday to you. If you are watching this live, I want to say thank you so very much for you making the decision to watch and worship together with us today from wherever you may be. So incredibly excited, so grateful to have you on with us today. I want to ask you right now to do me a favor. Do me a favor. Hit that share button. Send this link to somebody else to watch. Send this link to somebody else to watch on YouTube, on Facebook, via text message. Tell somebody else to hop on so we can go and grow together. Your shares are making a difference. The last several weeks, people have been making decisions at Empowerment. They've been giving their life to the Lord. They've been rejoining this church family. 2 weeks ago, we had multiple kids make decisions to actually be baptized. And your shares are what allow people the chance to make a decision. In other words, when you don't share, you're preventing somebody from taking their next step into becoming who it is God has called and created them to be. So I want to invite you right now to hit that share button. I want to say welcome to our new family members. We got people from all over the globe that have made decisions over these past couple weeks. Welcome, 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 welcome to whoever you may be, to wherever you are. Welcome to the family. I don't take it for granted. Well, listen, everybody, I want to invite you to lock in with me right now. We're about to watch a word together today. Watch a word together today. But most of you all didn't see it the first time. You didn't have the chance to come out. I'm telling you, it's going to be an incredible word. Lock in. Give you some more announcements, information, and updates at the end of the message. Let's just lock in together. Take notes. Get ready. Let's go.
John chapter number 19. John chapter number 19. For those who want to stand, you can stand. Don't be the odd one out. Everybody else stood. Y'all just stand too. John chapter number 19, verse number 25. My Bible reads it this way. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, and Mary Magdalene. But when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, he said to his mother, Woman, behold your son. And he said to the disciple, Behold your mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her to his home. You may be seated. For the time we have together, I'll tag our brief exchange. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. There's a theory entitled mood management. This theory is centered around the consumption of messages that are capable of altering our prevailing mood. The selection of messages for consumption often serves as a regulation of our emotional state. The theory hypothesizes that the state of the mind of an individual is based upon what it is they are taking in order to optimize their mood. So tonight, what I would like to invite you to is the opportunity to stop living your life like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde every day. That instead, you need to understand what I am contending that Jesus teaches us while hanging on this cross. And that is, regardless of what it looks like, we're gonna be all right. That what you come to discover when you really don't read the text too quickly, but you pause to ask critical questions about what he's saying, when he's saying it, and who he's saying it to, you discover he's teaching when you don't even realize it. That as critical as all 7 of the sayings are, this is one that I feel like I had the hardest time finding any other substantive content to study from. And I had to ask the critical question, why? And it's because I'm contending we spend a lot of time talking about forgiveness. That's easy. It's easier than we give credit to, and discussing it is easier than the practice of doing it. Let me clarify, because we walk out, oh, it's not easy. You struggle. You know you struggle. We can deal with some of the other realities. We can even wrestle in the dark about God forsaking God. However, it's this notion of being able to walk in the fullness of understanding that regardless of what life looks like, we're going to be all right. Because whether you will admit it or not, you spend more time in your own head about what's happening in your everyday life, about stuff you cannot control. And the issue with that notion is it is a absolute and undeniable contradiction to our faith. That anytime we find ourselves more concerned about things he ain't even thinking about, we find ourselves in the moment of a divine contradiction. When you see them here in the text, I promise you I'm there. They're standing there. And it says, when Jesus therefore saw his mother, he notices his mother is standing there watching her baby suffer on this cross. Joseph is gone. The others have left. But Mary, who was with him in the beginning, is still right there with him in her toughest moment. And he looks over at his mother and the one whom he loves and issues a word of responsibility to them. And he does it out of this notion of the fact that he's a covenant keeper. If you don't see it, you may never. He makes it clear to us from the beginning, I will never leave you nor forsake you. He makes it clear to you that even though you may be brokenhearted, I came to heal the brokenhearted. He made it clear that though weeping may endure for a night, joy does come in the morning. He makes it clear that though you may sow in tears, if you sow long enough, you will likewise also reap in joy. Am I in the book? Now, if that's what he said, it's not the same as you trusting the Allstate man's commercial about commitments. Now, while he may not be lying, I want to tell you there's a difference between the commitment they're making to you. If you've ever had to argue with your insurance company about a claim, you know it. But there is an undeniable difference between the commitment that the insurance company makes to you about a claim and the covenant he made to you in the beginning. You don't see it. When he says to his mother, who he calls woman, he is taking her back to the moment when they were, not only when they were in the temple, and he says to them, listen, I had to go be about my Father's business. He's reminding them, I got a bigger calling and a higher purpose, and you get to be in my presence. But I'm reminded of the passage when they're at the party and the wine run out, and Mary calls for her baby and says to her baby, what we gonna do? And he says, woman. He says to a woman to remind her, I got this. You knew enough about me to come to me, and I'm going to remind you that I'm a covenant keeper. So whatever you ask for in my name, see, y'all don't read your book. Now, what you miss about that is, for me to have a conversation with you about wine being missing at the party, that's a private conversation. Y'all throw parties. Do you ever announce before everybody that the liquor ran out? That's a private conversation. So there was a covenant that was established before we got to the cross. And the issue is, some of us miss the miracles or miss the lesson in the miracles. So when we end up in a painful predicament, we had missed the promise that he made and the fulfillment of that promise that happened before the next miracle was required. You missed it. See, Mary could stand there at the cross and look at her dying son also be the embodiment of her Savior, and be able to understand something good was still going to come out of this because she had seen him work miracles before then. She had put her trust in what happened, and whenever he got ready to say something to somebody that would step out of his divinity and step out of his humanity and into his divinity, he would no longer address them by what everybody else called them. He would call them stuff like woman. Yeah, mother would imply this is your son talking. Woman lets it be known this is your God talking. And I don't know about you tonight, but I'm grateful that every now and again in my humanity, he reminds me that he's with me, that I have not a priest who cannot be touched with the feelings of my infirmities. But every now and again, I need him to stop coddling me a little bit. Y'all don't like that kind of teaching. To stop coddling me and talk to me and remind me that he's my God. So while you may have been dumb enough sometimes to get yourself into situations and circumstances you shouldn't have been in, I'm God enough who can speak to you in it and bring you out of it, because I'm a covenant keeper. So when I bring you out of situations, I'm not bringing you out because you deserve it. I'm bringing you out of it because I'm God. And so while Mary is standing there looking at her son dying, her Savior begins to speak and says, I know you're trying to figure out how you'll live life without me, but I'm going to let you know I'm a covenant keeper and you will never be alone. John, I need you to do me a favor. Behold thy mother. Do you see the tension? And I'm almost about done through. Do you see the tension? Woman, behold thy son. But he looks over at the disciple whom he loved and says to him, disciple, behold your mother. Only God is able to make a divine transference of relationship like that. To move them from a place of where you thought this would happen and to remind them, no, I've got something else in mind. And what gets me about it, Dr. Spencer, is he does it while dying on the cross. He doesn't do it before he dies. He doesn't do it in a moment of joy. He does it while dying. He does it while in pain. He does it while suffering around everybody else. Can I tell you how I believe he's able to do that? I believe he's able to do it in the principle he's teaching to Mary and to those watching. That includes us, because we're hearing the message regurgitated now, thousands of years later. He's able to somehow have peace on this cross and make plans on this cross while he remembers that his eternal security rests in the hand of a God that never let him down before. So he's able to say, woman, the same way I'm hanging on this cross, believing that the God who got me into this world is going to take me out of this world, and I will sit at the right hand of God the Father, who in the beginning said, let there be and there was. Woman, I need for you to understand that same way I'm able to believe it, I need you to look at me and know that the same peace I have inside of me is the peace I'm leaving inside of you. Here, you need to know this. Behold, I've got somebody for you. You're going to be all right. Can I tell you one more thing? That he's teaching us what you are most committed to will determine what you're most concerned about. Yeah, because see, some of you think that when you get to your dying day, you're going to check your Facebook feed. You think the number of followers is going to matter. You think the amount of money you have in the bank is going to matter. You think all this stuff that you worked so incredibly hard for will matter in your last moments. But Jesus teaches us that stuff don't matter. He looks around and realizes there are people who are dying and suffering and are in need. And he gives them a word of compassion and of comfort. To remind them that I came for you. I'm on this cross for you. I'm going through this situation for you. I'm struggling and I'm suffering, but I'm doing it all for you, because whatever it is you are most committed to is what you will always be concerned about. And he says, I'm so committed to you that no matter what you think you may be going through, you're going to always be all right. Yeah. See, some of you, you're waiting on a shout, but you missed your shout. They shouted you already. I'm not tearing up my voice tonight. They shouted you already. Here goes the simple truth. You need to know you're going to be all right. Yes, see, some of you are waiting on some new profound revelation to tell you something else. But what I want to tell you is these 66 books and his sacrifice on that cross was to let you know that when you put your confidence, your trust, and your belief in him, you're going to be all right. And is there anybody in here tonight that your testimony is you made it through 2020, you made it through 2021, and now you're here watching or online in 2022, and you are a living witness that God will take care of you? Is there anybody in here tonight that can say God will take care of you? Is there anybody here that says whatever betide, God will take care of you? See, some of you, you're still waiting on it. You're missing your moment of reflection and of remembrance. He says to this woman, woman, behold thy son, son, behold thy mother, because God will take care of you. Yeah, he was so faithful in the beginning. He said, let there be and there was, and everything that was not became. God will take care of you. He's so faithful that when they were in the place, when they were trying to cross over the sea, they were asking, how will it happen? He said, walk up to it and watch what I do. And if that's not enough for you, after they finished, they said, what about the people chasing us? He said, watch this now. God will take care of you. See, you still don't get it. They were there asking, how we gonna eat? He said, oh, hold on a second. Who got something to give to me? He said, oh, you got those 2 fish, those 5, those biscuits, the little Lunchable? Give me that. God will take care of you. And is there anybody that can just hold on for a second to think about the fact that God will take care of you? He took care of his mama. His mama. While on this cross, he's looking out. He sees the people that he loves. I believe this. As much as it was about his mama, I believe it was about the woman that he loved. Because he looks over at her and says to the one he loved, that's what the Bible says, y'all two hold each other. that same way, he looks at us because he loves us. And he's letting us know no matter who else walks away from you, no matter whatever else you don't understand, we're going to be all right. I'm dying so that you can know. We're going to be all right. I'm not up here hanging because I'm playing. I'm up here hanging because I'm making sure we're going to be all right. As you get ready for Sunday, that good getting up morning, I need you to know everything we do on Holy Week, this Good Friday service, Resurrection Sunday, just to let you know you're going to be all right. Turn to your neighbor and just say, you're going to be all right. I don't know what you're facing, but you're going to be all right. I don't know what you're up against, but you're going to be all right. Jesus let me know we're going to be all right.
I'm so glad that you stayed on. Listen, everybody. Hey, quickly, I want to do this. If you need to give today, I want to invite you to give. You need to make a decision to through the heart of generosity, sow back into the harvest you just reaped from. There's a biblical principle of sowing and reaping, and I want to invite you right now to sow into the harvest that you're believing God for. I want to invite you to do that. Listen, when you give to empowerment, you don't just give to empowerment, you give through empowerment. We're blessing people during this back to school season. We're blessing districts and schools and kids and families and students and people who are in need. And your gifts of generosity help us to do it. So I unapologetically ask you for it. Let's keep doing the work of the kingdom. Let's keep doing the work of the kingdom. And your resources, your generosity helps us to touch people, helps us to bless people, helps us to change lives, helps us to make sure no kid goes to school without what they need, whether that's a backpack, whether that's school supplies, whether that's toiletries. Some of the families that we know are just all they need is somebody. All they need to know is this. All they need to know is that somebody loves them enough to be there for them. And while we could pray that something would happen and pray that they would all of a sudden just magically wake up and get these things, God answers prayers through people. He answers prayers through people. So your generosity helps us be the answer to somebody else's prayer. I want to invite you to give. Text the word empowerment to 77977. Empowerment to 77977. You can give by Cash App, $Empowerment Church. Cash App, $Empowerment Church. You can mail us to P.O. Box 335, Maywood, Illinois, 60153. I want to invite you to give. You can use any of those giving mechanisms. Maybe you need to make a decision to join this church family. I want to invite you right now to join this church family. You can text the word decided to 708-449-8197. Text the word decided to 708-449-8197. Decided. You're giving your life to the Lord for the first time, giving your life back to the Lord, or joining this church family. I want to invite you to do that. You can text decided to join this church. Join this family. We have spiritual families from all over the place. Text decided to 708-449-8197, or click the link that the hosts are making available for you in the chat if you're watching this live. Listen, I miss you all. I love you all. Talk with you all later. Have an incredible day. Thank you all for watching. Share this with somebody else. Talk with you all later. Let's go.
It's free.